Yeah, hey guys, we got another fun project on the van. I'm not cutting too many windows in. In fact, I'm only going to cut one more window in. This van has windows in the back, and it has just the windshield and the two driver and passenger windows. But I am going to put this window here in the sliding glass or sliding side door. And part of this opens up, the bottom part. See if you can see the bottom. It has a screen on it, so I can crank this open and I can get some ventilation coming in there, and it's going to be right by where my cooking station is too, so I can actually blow the excess smells or steam, whatever, out this window in theory. You can see this is what the van looks like right now from the outside, and we're going to put a window in that door right there. This window came from Van Windows Direct. And this window is basically just under 34 wide by about 19 and a half tall. And it did not come with a template, so I have to create one. So the first thing I'm going to do is see, it's got this ring on it right here. This ring, I'm going to probably use that as a template, but I have to see where, yeah. I gotta see where exactly I'm going to cut it, because it looks like it's just to the outside of this, but it's not nice and smooth on the edge. So I will use this trim ring. I'll use this trim ring as a template, or to trace out my template. Yeah, we'll just take it a step at a time. And then there's some stuff on the inside of the door I have to cut out. There's a brace that I have to cut out in order to cut the metal out of there. So we'll just take it a step at a time. It's a nice day today, but I am inside David's garage again and have the whole day to do this. Hopefully it won't take all day, but that just means I can take my time for once. Okay, I'm going to use this ring that goes on the inside of the window. This clamps the window to the metal. It kind of sandwiched the metal in there. And I looked at how this lays onto the window itself, and I'm going to trace the outside of this ring. See, I've got this gap, so I'm going to, once I get around the corner, I'm going to use a straight edge to get that so it's right exactly where it needs to be. I think this is actually like the most critical part of the whole thing, because if you get this wrong, everything you transfer to the door is going to be wrong. So I'm going to trace this out and then double check. I'll lay the window on here and make sure that the opening isn't too big. I'd rather have it too small than too big. If it's a little too big, there's not a lot you can do with it. I've got other cardboard in case I mess up on this one. So no stress. And I don't know if you could see, but I taped this down to the cardboard too, so as I'm marking it, if it moves, the whole cardboard has to move. Let's see how we look. I drew the lines in here, but let's just see how straight they actually are. It's not too bad, but let's actually make them straight. Yeah, they bow in just a little bit. You can kind of see where it's supposed to be nice and straight. You can see how the line is just a little off there. May as well double check the other lines just to see. Yeah, that's nice and straight. And that's good and straight. Okay, so I'm just gonna slowly cut it out with my razor knife and try to be, well, actually I'm gonna check it with the window itself first. See if that shows me anything. It's hard to see because it's got this little wing here. It's got this little knob right here that is used to open and close the window, so it's holding it up. But I can take a look on this side. I don't know, that just seems big. Well, I guess one thing I can do is flip this over and I can measure. The outside to outside is just under 18 inches. What do we have here? It's a 1/4 inch more than 18, so if we actually cut this out, if we actually cut this out on the inside of that line, we should be good. And once I cut it out, then I can lay it on the back and then I can see better how it's going to be. So, well, now we're just going to slowly cut this out. Really wish they would have just sent a template with it. It would have made things so much easier. So you'll put the window out here and I'll lay the template on it. It looks like there's gaskets still showing all around. It's really hard to tell. And we lay this back on it. Looks perfect this way. So when we laid this here, this is the way it's going to go in on the inside. It's going to go in this way. This edge here goes up against the metal. And on the other side there will be a gasket, the metal and then the gasket, and then the other window. There's holes to the inside here, and that's where it bolts in. Seems just a tad big, especially on this corner. Yeah, this corner doesn't seem right. Too big. Yeah, all the corners feel good except that one. Oh. Yeah, I take that back. This one feels a little big too. Just a hair. Alright, I'm going to use my scissors and cut that down a little bit. My trusty kitchen shears. Like I said, I'd rather have it just a little small than too big. Okay, let's see how that fits. It seems much better. Like I said, I'd much rather take plenty of time getting this template right and feeling good about it. Yeah, that feels much better. Well, I guess I can take all this tape off now. Okay, what I'm going to show you here is, see how there's holes here. That's what holds this ring in, and you can see it actually goes into this channel right here. That's where the holes go in. The channel is all the way around. So that's what those holes, those screws go into, is that channel. Okay, I'm going to have to put some plastic around that so I don't get shavings all over the place, and I'll be cutting that out with a, actually see if I can, this piece out, I'll be cutting that out with my side grinder. Okay, we're going to start trying to cut this piece out, trying to give you guys a view of it, but I'm probably going to be in the way. So let's see how it goes, and I'm trying not to hit this part because part of that down here is going to stay, so I don't want to hit that all, so I got to really try to control this side grinder here. Got it. Now we want to center this in here. So we have 6 1/4, 6 1/4. We have 1.5. I think we're good. I'm going to mark this where I'm going to drill some holes on the outside. Well, it's right where it starts to bend for the mark here and mark here, because I'm going to drill some holes so I know where I am on the outside and I can line this up outside. Now I have to make sure that I put this on backwards, like this, so those marks line up, because I didn't measure anything. So I marked which end was up. So we should have plenty of room all the way around that for our gasket and our trim. And this is the actual critical part right here, is drilling these holes. I'm going to drill them on the inside of the lines. So I'm going to drill 8 holes. I'm just going to double check some more stuff just because. And then I'm going to move this plastic and tape it here so anything, none of these shavings don't go inside the door. Although I'm sure there's probably already some in there. Let's triple check. We can put some stuff away while we're stalling. Yeah, if I go to that, what's that line? We're 3/8 of an inch bigger than the actual window. So if we go just a little inside, this is it. This is the moment of truth. You can see I'm drilling that hole to the inside of this line because I want it to be just a little smaller than that line. So did I mention that I called the company and asked them if this window will definitely fit this van? And nobody could confirm it. But before I went ahead and started all this, I laid it up against it and it looked like the curve is pretty darn close, so I think it'll work. Okay, classic. I forgot to hit record. So what I ended up doing, I didn't use my template. I went between each hole that I drilled through from the other side and put a straight edge across and got that. And then I measured, and I like that measurement much better than the template. The template just seemed a little too big. Then I used the corners of the template to draw my radius. Now I'm just going to drill a couple holes to get my jigsaw blade in there, and then we'll just start cutting. When I get up here, I'm going to put some tape up here to keep it from falling in, and I'll leave a little space here and cut that last. And hopefully that tape up there will hold it from completely just falling in. We'll see how that works. Yeah, I could have gotten those closer to the line. Yeah, this is a part where I feel like I want to hurry, because I want to hurry and get it done so I can try it. So I got to really hold myself back and take my time cutting this thing out. So bear with me. So far so good. Don't know how much of this you can actually see. Not much really. Yeah, full face shield would have been a good idea. This is where it helps if you're good with your left hand as good as your right hand. So I've had right shoulder issues for so long. I've had to practice with my left hand. I had to get a taller ladder. So while I'm going along cutting this, thinking to myself, okay, if this is not right, how am I going to plug this hole while I wait for a different window to come in? How's that for confidence? Hearing protection would have been a good idea too. I am just terrible about that kind of stuff. I'm always in too much of a hurry to get things done in order to protect myself. I don't know if this will help. I guess I don't even need that. All right, well, it's loose. You can see I got some places I gotta smooth out. Yay. Moment of truth. I have a feeling I'm going to have to open it up a little bit. I think I got a little nervous and kept shrinking it up. Let's find out. Of course, we'll do this on camera together and you'll see if it fits or not, but I can always edit it out. Just want you to know this is the first time doing it, and it actually fits. There's a little bit of wiggle room up and down. I hope that's a good thing. I don't feel any openings outside of the weather stripping. That's a good thing. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? All right, well, I guess now we're gonna trim everything. Gotta say, I'm glad I kept shrinking it down because it's still a little bigger than what I feel comfortable with, but I think it's doing good. I'll just grab my file, if I can find it, in my pile of tools and file all this. And we'll put some primer on there to keep this from rusting. Boy, I've been talking about doing this for so long. To have this hole here is really something, actually. Same file I used for the vent fan. Flat on one side, rounded on the other. Somebody suggested using sandpaper after you're done with a file. I'm not sure if that would help, but you know, it couldn't hurt. All right, well that feels pretty good. I think I'll take the tape off. Use a little piece of sandpaper, go around the edge. And then we can open everything up and clean everything up. Got a couple of places where I drilled from the other side and it's pushing the metal out a little bit. I want to flatten that so it's got a good sealing surface. Okay, I think we're done with the file. Everything feels good and smooth now. I'm just going to go inside, pull up that plastic, and I can throw that away. I'm sure it's full of shavings. Then we can open the door and clean everything up. Well, this is going to be nice not just for air movement, but also driving. This was quite the blind spot when I come up to a road that's kind of at an angle, and it's amazing how many of those there are. Kind of just pull out in front of people and hope they have brakes. Okay, I got things cleaned up and I don't have alcohol, but I got these alcohol pads, so I'm going to use that to clean up the metal before I put a little paint on it. Wow, that's dirty. Once again, a little Rust-Oleum auto primer, and I'm just gonna spray some in here and use this foam brush just to dab it on, and we're gonna have to take a break for a while and let it cure. Okay, I just had a rag somewhere. There's where I put it. All right, we'll come back after that's dry, cured, whatever. I can put the ring on. Got some tape on here that I gotta take off. I get conflicting instructions. One instruction says I'm supposed to pre-drill these holes on the window, and other instructions say that there's a channel that the screws just go in. So I've done this kind of stuff before, and we never pre-drilled the channel, so I'm just going to put the screws into the channel. I'm going to lift it up a little bit, and then just down a little bit. There, right there. Screws go in pretty tough. Maybe I do have to pre-drill them. One went in a little better. This thing comes with some clips, and I'm trying to find out what the clips are for. And there's nothing in the instructions that say anything about putting clips on. Okay, they're all in but not tight. But ouch. Oh great, I broke my tip. Broke the tip. I think it's tight. The gasket's squished all the way around, it feels like. All right, well, we got the window in. It feels good and tight all around. It's got a nice squishy gasket. I'll have to bring it to a car wash and just throw some water around it. Hopefully it's good. But you know, the directions that they have on their website says to use just, it's kind of weird. They say to pre-drill, but it's got this channel all the way around it. I didn't pre-drill. They said that you should only hand tighten, but if I didn't use my impact driver, there's no way I would have gotten them in. But maybe that's, I should have pre-drilled. Maybe that's it. But it is in. It's not going anywhere. And this bottom part opens up. There's a nice screen. You can take the screen off if you want. So that's all there is. Now it's just testing. I'm not sure when I'll do that. Probably pretty soon. That's always the scary part. When I did my vent fan, it rained like crazy right after, and it was perfectly dry inside. So hopefully this will be the same way. So hey, thanks for watching. And if you found this informative or entertaining at all, feel free to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya.